Welcome back to the debut show. I want to say thank you guys for coming back. Thank you guys for vibing with us. I know we're right now on your screens and we're ready to rumble. We're always ready to rumble, but today the rumbling is really rumbling. And I'm so excited to be here right now and to have such a special guest on the show. You guys know that on the debut, we speak to creatives, we speak to people that are really making things shake. And this is no different, but this is one that's very dear to my heart. So I'm so excited to get into this and, you know, vibe with this special person we've got and also vibe with you guys. So I hope you guys are ready to be watching and to be learning something new maybe. Who knows? That's what we're all about here. So let's see what's good. So, as always, I am Nanz Scripts and I've brought in someone very special. So, Shecanic. You guys, I know you guys have heard that name before. You've been hearing it a lot very recently. So we brought you Shecanic to come and speak to you guys today and just vibe with you guys, let you know what her concept is, her motive behind it is, and just what everything she advocates for is all about. So let's get into it. Shecanic, how are you doing today?
Very well. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. So therefore, we're going to start now, right?
Let's do it.
As I said, we like to rip and rumble, so that's what we're going to do.
Let's do it.
Okay, so tell us all about yourself. I don't like to tell people who they are or what we think they do. I think it's important that you get the chance to voice what you do, voice who you are, and let us know what you want us to know you as.
Okay, where do I start from? My name is Afua Serwaa, Shecanic. Shecanic is a play of words. She can do anything she puts her mind and heart to. And I happen to be an auto technician, so it kind of falls in place. Why did I choose to be an auto technician or choose to do what I do?
Yeah.
I wanted to be a change maker. In Ghana, and I'm sure some other parts of Africa, we leave the technical space, vocational space for school dropouts. For that reason, we don't regard them as much, and we seem to have an expertise gap in the auto industry. So I wanted to change that. Also, to be a good catalyst, empowerment catalyst for women who would want to go out of the norm, go against the societal norms, be in male-dominated space. So Shecanic is a representation of all of that. So encourage women that you can do anything you want to do, just put your mind to it.
Okay, so how did you yourself get into that space where you could even begin? Like, how did you know that that's something you wanted to do? Was something that you studied, or did you just wake up one day and you were just like, there's a niche or something that needs to be filled?
I didn't study. If anybody told me, Nana, you're going to grow up to be a mechanic, I would just laugh. I didn't study this at all. As a matter of fact, I wanted to be a UN secretary. I've always been an empowerment catalyst, speaking for the voiceless, standing up for those who are marginalized. That is me. That is Afua Serwaa. However, I found out that I don't want to be vulnerable on the highway. If I get a bad tire or I get some issues with my vehicle, I don't want to be vulnerable. So if I don't want to be vulnerable and I'm clueless about my vehicles, that means there are lots of women out there who also go through the same thing. So I wanted to change that. Now, how do I change it until I become it? So no, I didn't study science. I didn't study auto mechanics. Everything has been based on apprenticeship. I've been doing this for 10 years now. Actually, October is my 10th year. So it's all based on apprenticeship, reading, watching movies, watching documentaries on vehicles, asking questions, taking online courses, traveling to see what's new out there. So it's very much based on apprenticeship and investments in what I do.
I love that because honestly, it's an industry that, like you said, especially in Ghana, maybe other African countries, when you hear it, you're like, oh, you know, that it's not doctor, it's not lawyer, it's not engineer. It's a form of engineering.
It is. I agree with you. It is. If you ask me, I think vocational skills is a foundation of everything. Vocational and training institute is the foundation of everything, from science, technology, engineering, and math. You need vocational skills.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yes.
No, it's all of the above. So when you first started, what was the journey? Was it just like, I'm going to just start my apprenticeship small and then just see how I fit into it? Or was it like very difficult? Like people were looking at you like, and they just didn't?
Oh boy, I still go through that. It wasn't a walk in the park, I'll tell you this. Luckily my name is Nana, And in Ghana, Nana could be for a guy and a girl. So I think I got away with that. Because when they hear Nana, they would just assume it's a guy. I'll give you an example. So one guy, a driver, worked to the shop. He had been asked to come and see Nana. Oh, take my car to Nana. And then he comes to the shop and he goes and says, oh, how may I help you? I'm here to see Nana. And I smiled. Like, okay, how may I help you? Go and get me Nana. And I'm just thinking, I'm Nana. I didn't want to say this to him. So, okay, you know what? Have a seat. Go do my work. And then I got a call from the owner. Nana, oh, I sent my driver to bring his car to my car to you. And okay, let me go up. I said, oh, gentleman, if I'm Nana. Oh, no, if I'm Nana, one can't share me.
So what did he expect?
It has to be a man. It just has to be a man. But yes, another example. I sprayed a vehicle for a client. They had been with me for about a week or two. He picked up in the middle of the night. He calls me. I thought maybe it's an emergency. He calls and says, Nana, meet me in some radio. No, then I hear can.
Hey.
Just because obey spraying today, I just assumed that was baby. So that's one of the challenges. But with time, that has changed.
So from when you started, you said 10 years ago now.
10 years ago.
Which you have to say a big congrats, because 10 years in any industry, in any field, is not a joke. That means the passion is there. That means the knowledge is there. Absolutely. The vim is there. Everything is there. And you've managed to make it that far. So for that one alone, congrats.
Thank you.
We definitely need to say that. Like, we have to acknowledge that firstly. But then from 10 years ago, so we're saying 2013.
2013, yeah.
Wow.
Exactly, October 2013.
Where was I?
I remember back then, my favorite car, was Toyota Corolla, the 2010 model. That was my favorite car. That's how naive I was, how green I was. Toyota Corolla, yeah.
And then now I'm sure the cars you've seen, the cars you've experienced, even the bikes.
Yes.
Guys, have you ever seen a lady on a bike and then she's just looking so fashionable, so correct, and she's biking.
No, Okada. Biking,
not Accra, serious biking. But you've seen so much since then. So what would you say, apart from like these little tedious moments where it's like, I'm waiting for Nana, it's me that's Nana, little things like that, what would you say, excites you about it? What is keeping you to keep striving, keep pushing?
When I get repeat customers, someone who would keep coming back, when I've become a household brand or even a family mechanic. So we have a family that mommy calls, daddy calls, siblings calls. It's Nana they always come to. Those are the moments. Like when I buy vehicles for clients. So when they call, Nana, I have an issue, can you take? Those are the moments that I love. It shows that there's something we're doing right. Something
that people, when they hear the brand and they hear Shecanic, Shecanic, when they hear all those things and they're like, yeah, I can trust you. I can trust you with my car.
Oh, thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you.
I can trust you with my car. I wouldn't have no issues at all.
Yes.
I would know that a radio is still working, all of those things, So I want to get into a little game with you. We like to play games here, just simple trivia. So we're going to jump into this game. Then we'll jump back into the questions a bit. And then we might jump into another game.
Okay.
So we just like to keep it light and flowing a bit here over the debut. So that's what we're going to do. Are you ready for trivia?
I am ready. Please, every girls per second, close your eyes. I promise to make you proud.
I think you've got this. So, we've got the cards here with some questions. So it's even funny that you've mentioned some things already, but we'll get into it. So some are maybe car related, some are a bit jokey, some might just be about Ghana. Okay. So, as of 2023, what is the most popular car ever sold? It is multiple choice, so I will give you some options. It would be the brand Toyota, Kantanka, BMW, or Mercedes. What's the most popular car sold?
I'll pick Toyota.
Ding ding, you're correct for that one. It is a Toyota. It's actually specifically Toyota Corolla.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, most popular car sold.
Okay.
That's crazy, as far as Google tells me, Okay, so next question is, how fast does a standard Lamborghini go? And that's 100 miles per hour, 350 miles per hour, 270, or roughly 220. miles per hour, like your standard.
Standard.
And that's
Lamborghini.
fastest they can get to possibly.
270.
She knows her stuff. She knows her stuff, guys. So this one says, what century? So it doesn't have to be specific to like specific year, but what century is considered the birth of the automobile? So that's
century.
So we've got the 1800s.
Okay.
The 1900s, 1700s, or the 2000s.
I want to pick 1800s. I'm not sure. These are elective questions. Okay. Fingers crossed. I'll pick the 1800s.
You're right. always go for the heart, because you're right. You're really right. Now this one, we all should know this one.
So if I don't know what happens?
Oh yeah, then we just cut the show. This one is, what year did Ghana gain independence? Should I give you the answers or?
Yeah, let me pretend I'm not Ghanaian.
Okay, so 1967, 1980, 1940, or 1957.
1957.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, now this one says, how did people indicate before indicators were a thing? Did they shout out the car to tell you which direction they were going in? Did they use the horn, or did they use hand signals?
They use hand signals. But you know why I'm laughing? Even so now in Ghana, even though we have the indicators, they will still shout
They'll
out.
be shouting and
Yeah.
we were just talking, like, as we've been here in Ghana, we'll be in Ubers or whatever, and I'm like, I could never.
You can never.
I don't think I could do it.
It's a jungle.
It's a lot. It's a lot. When I see them and they're swerving, and like the way they even swerve out the pothole and they come back into the roads normally.
Listen.
By that time, I would have screamed.
Listen, so apart from swerving potholes, swerving goats and sheep on the way, swerving trotro drivers, guess the last thing you need to be swerving?
People? No.
Saliva.
Saliva?
Yeah. So one time I was riding and someone chose to spit whatever it is the person had inside. I had to just swerve. I'm like, oh God. So aside learning to swerve sheep, goat, chicken, pothole, cars, now I have to learn the arts of swerving saliva.
That's wild.
Oh yeah.
I can't even imagine.
Nasty.
That's nasty. Let's do the one final question for trivia.
Okay.
So, what is the name of Batman's car? Was it the Mobile Bat?
Okay.
The Catmobile? The Catmobile? Or the Batmobile?
Batmobile.
Ding, ding, ding.
That sounds fancy.
How did you get everything right? I need to come with harder questions. I need to come with harder questions next time.
I'm sweating.
You're sweating. You've got this. You've got this. You did it. You did it. That's that for the first game.
Okay.
That's the first game.
Okay.
But as you were just talking about swerving, was that on your bike?
Yeah, on my motorcycle. Yeah. Thankfully, I was wearing a helmet because I'll be doing this.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Speaking about vehicles that you personally have, what's your favorite, or like how many vehicles do you currently have, if you're able to tell us, that you like to use on a day-to-day or whatever the case may be?
My favorite now is the RS5, the Audi RS5. I think it's a good combination of performance and comfort. And it's great. It's grounded. It feels like I'm driving a race car. You know, it's such an enjoyable drive. Yeah.
Okay. So are all your cars like auto, manual kind of vibe, or?
Auto. I'm lazy like that. So auto.
With a manual, do you suggest it, or do you feel like, people like to say if you don't drive manual, you're not really a driver. But that's what they say in London anyways.
You know. Okay, you know what? With the manual, it's very engaging. It's like, you are in control. Your arms are doing stuff. It's very engaging, so yes. But however, who wants to be engaging in traffic?
Especially in Ghana traffic.
My goodness. Like, you want to just be listening to music and, having fun. But yeah, automatic any day. However, if you're going on long distance trips, it's nice to,
it's nice to like control it a bit.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think different strokes, different folks, however you like it.
So I need to understand the transition. Okay. So the transition from cars to motorcycles.
Yes.
How Speak to me. How did you do it? And how were you not afraid?
COVID.
COVID is what?
COVID inspired this. If COVID couldn't kill me, nothing can. So I'll tell you what, in 2020, it had been on my bucket list for the longest time to do something wild. And COVID came along, and that was it. That was a light bulb moment, the eye open, like, you know what? This world could come to an end any day. You know, people really thought it was coming to an end.
Your process a bit more and all the things you advocate for and your concepts. I know you are very, you're very strong about STEM.
Yeah.
You know, women in STEM as well.
Yeah,
and women as well as in, male-dominated spaces, which you certainly are in one of those things. So, like, speak to me about it. Like, what makes you, what screams out to you about those things?
We, as women, we shy away from taking up science careers. As a matter of fact, it's not just we shying away, it's the teachers, our parents, our opinion leaders, what they tell us. Let me tell you a little bit of history. When I was in high school, I started as a science student. One particular topic in chemistry I didn't understand, and the teacher said it outright that, hey, you know what, if you can't understand this, then you have no business doing science.
Okay.
So that was what made me switch. And I can imagine a number of women who go through this, a number of young ladies who go through this. Like, just one word can let them just switch, kill their dreams, kill their passion.
Yeah.
So that was it for me. It was quite an unfortunate incident. But yeah, that was it for me. That was a switch. But interestingly, I've come back to it.
Yeah.
And now doing this. So now I've decided to know I'm going to encourage a lot of women to get into this. Besides, STEM is the future.
Definitely
the future is AI. So are we going to keep doing all the or we're going to move into the future by advocating for STEM, encouraging women to get into STEM careers, and also encouraging them to get into male-dominated spaces? We need a lot of that.
Yeah, we do. We definitely do. What advice would you give for somebody that is trying to get into that? So, like, I mean, I would like to not think I'm the shyest of people.
Yes.
But even trying to get into an industry like that, your quote-unquote male-dominated industries may be hard. So how would you suggest they go about it?
I'd say put passion in it. Don't go looking for passion. Just put passion and love in whatever you do. And also, no one has it figured out. There's no right or wrong way to do things.
Yeah.
You just learn as you go and enjoy the process. If you want to be the best mechanic, enjoy the process now. What are you doing? What foundations are you laying now? How are you telling your story? Now I can tell a story of 10 years of experience. I started from somewhere. Now I've built up. So gradually tell your story that way. Go through the process and enjoy the process.
Definitely. Enjoying the process is one thing that I will always say to everybody.
Yeah.
Because starting, you would have never known that the things you would be doing now, you'd be doing 10 years ago.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And even the things you have done, even within the year alone, right? So we have to discuss that. We have to discuss that.
Interesting year.
Interesting year. Tell us all about it.
Oh, the Wanderlust trip.
The Wanderlust trip.
The Ghana to UK trip. You know, people do come from the Western world to Africa.
Yeah.
On a normal day, why don't we go? Or even if Africans go, it's either we are walking through the deserts, through Libya, or stowaway, or hiding in some cocoa beans from Takrade. So we wanted to change that narrative, change that media perception that Africans will do that through the illegal means. We have the roads, we have the cars, so why not? We were determined. I happened to meet these car enthusiasts and adventure lovers.
Yeah.
So I felt safe. I didn't realize I was the only woman on the trip until I came to Ghana. There wasn't a thing about gender for me.
Yeah.
Because I love cars and I was in the midst of people who love cars. But when I got to Ghana, I was like, oh, so I was the only woman on the trip.
It's not even when you was there, it wasn't even a thing.
It wasn't even a thing because I don't want to be the weakest link. So if we have to move at 5 a.m., I'm ready. If we have to eat just something small, I'll do it. I was always with the group, going according to plan. So yes, the trip.
Do you feel like you just saying you didn't want to be the weakest link? Do you feel like there was a reason behind that? Do you feel like subconsciously you was thinking, I am the only woman, even though you didn't recognize it, I don't want no one to ever feel like I lack or anything like that. Do you know what I mean?
It was. I didn't want anybody to feel, oh, we shouldn't have brought her along. Because it's very easy. I'm sure they were thinking like, oh, this girl, you know. So I had to make sure, you know, it's the thing about women, and when you're passionate about something, you easily want to work twice as much to make yourself credible. So yes, I didn't want to be the weakest link. So whatever I had to do, I'll do it. But it came to me easy because I ride a motorcycle.
Yeah.
So it's quite easy for me to just go with the flow and be fluid.
Yeah, and still be in everything and just up and down with it.
Yeah.
So obviously the trip was from Accra to London. Did you go all the way or you went?
No, I wish I did. So because of work, well, if I'd known it would be this popular, but I'll still be at Alaska. I can still be going. But because of work, you know, I had to come back from Casablanca.
So you went to Morocco?
Yes.
So what was the plan? So you guys, every day you would drive like a few miles?
Every day, 800 miles, 1,000, every day. You know, I'll tell you what, the distance from Accra to Tamale is about 650 kilometers, but it takes you longer to get to Tamale versus the distance from Accra from Boaké, Côte d'Ivoire to Mali is further, but it was just 4 hours. The roads, when we have bad roads in Ghana, it will take you longer to get to your destination.
Very true.
Yes.
Very true.
So one of the things that we're highlighting in this trip is the need for good roads.
So that's something that we need to look forward to now.
Yes.
So the roads is one thing. So from Côte d'Ivoire to Mali?
Ghana, Côte d'Ivoire, then Mali, then Senegal, then Mauritania, Western Sahara, Morocco.
How many days was that?
It took me 12 days.
And then you guys were taking stops in between, staying?
Oh, yeah, so we'd sleep over at some hotels, some hostels. So yes, we'll stop over for breaks, maybe washroom break, or to fill up our tanks, or just to stretch, or to take pictures.
That whole process, like, how did you guys actually decide? Like, I know you were saying that, you know, there's the whole idea of if it can be done, why won't we do it? But how was it just like, yeah, why not? Let's just go. Was it just something so easy? It just came easy?
It wasn't. This was an idea that the group had birthed back in 2018. So the idea was to travel in 2019 and COVID happened. So there had been a lot of research that went into this. I would say, don't just get up and say you're driving to a long distance or a foreign land. You need to research. I'll give you an example. You know, in Mali, there's some bit of conflict. If we hadn't researched, I'll tell you this, the jihadists and the Fulani have an agreement that you don't shoot, you don't kill, you don't attack until you say the first prayer. Yes, until you say the first prayer. Let Allah bless. I'm sorry to make it sound funny, but let Allah bless it before you shoot. And that helped us because now having this information, we made sure we zoomed in between the danger zones before 6 a.m. or before 5:30 a.m. Assuming we didn't have this information, just going on a jolly ride, driving around 8 o'clock.
Just for the fun of it.
Boko Haram, or boom, you hear something, oh, they've been kidnapped or they've been attacked. So because we had this knowledge, it helped. So what I'll say is before you go on a trip to an unknown land, research into it, ask questions. So yes, it was quite enlightening. Yeah. So I have to thank Allah for this. Yes.
No, definitely, we thank him. But do you feel like there's something you'll do again? You guys will go further? Like, absolutely. Is it in the pipeline maybe that there will be another Wanderlust trip?
The group is discussing something like that. Yeah, the group, but they are adventure junkies. They would go. You know,
if the
they weren't in for the publicity. It wasn't a thing to make a name. It was just for them to be happy with themselves that we said we're going to do something and we did it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the group would go.
Would you join?
Absolutely. They cannot go without me.
Definitely. No, we need you there.
Yeah.
We need you there to represent. So just going forward with all of this and all the experiences you had, what would you advise? I don't know, like as you've said right now, if anybody is looking to go on a trip, make sure you do your research.
Make sure you do your research.
Make sure you do your research. Was there any other things you had to kind of plan ahead with?
Oh, getting spare parts. So get your brakes, change your tires, the tire profile, get these consumables, so like your oils, and get it. And fuel, yes. In Mauritania, they don't stock up on petrol, the whole country. They only stock up on diesel.
Oh no.
Yeah, so to get a petrol station, you'd have to search. And even that is the poorest quality. So if we didn't have jerry cans, we didn't have extra fuel, we would have suffered. So yeah, these are the little things that you need to consider when going on these trips.
Oh my gosh, I would have never thought of that. I would have never thought that you'd go somewhere and wouldn't be able to...
There you go. There you go.
That's a fact. That's a factor. That was an experience. 12 days.
It was. 12 days.
I mean, if it wasn't on your bucket list, it somehow made its way on it. And
I know.
because I wouldn't even be able to think of my dream is to drive. You know what I mean?
Through the deserts.
Deserts. For days.
For
Wow.
days.
You've done it. But you can say you've done it. And it's something that is history now. You're the only woman that went as well.
Yeah.
You didn't even know. Can you imagine? You were just in your land.
Just in La La Land.
And then you've come back to Ghana and it's the hype.
It's a hype. I was surprised. Like, oh, but it was just a drive. Like, no, Nana, it represents a lot. Because you inspire young women. You inspire ladies. It's for the first time in a long time, a woman is popular not for nudity, not for bad news, but something as such an inspiring story. A story that says you can do it. Such positive energy. Like, you can, whatever you want to do, just do it.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't limit yourself to being a woman. It shouldn't be a thing about it's a man's world. No, you can do it so effortlessly and beautifully.
I like that. And even you just saying that just now, that actually took me on to my next question. I know that, you know, when you came back, there was a lot of interviews and a lot of stories about you and everything like that. And a lot of people, like a lot of sites would be talking about, you know, this is Shecanic, the only woman that went. Look how beautiful she is. Look at, she's so lovely. All of these things, and like obviously they'll still be focusing on the fact that you've done it, but then another focus will be on, for example, your looks in that moment. What did that make you feel some type of way to be like, I don't know, like I've traveled all this way and they're just telling me I'm beautiful?
Well,
I mean, you are. But
thank you. So prior to this, when people come to the shop, some of them would come because, oh, I heard she's a pretty girl and I want to bring my car to her. So it's up to me to make sure I get him to stay, i.e. come back again and again and again. So I've had those, I've crossed that bridge. I know it comes with being a woman. But more importantly, I'm deliberate about looking beautiful in my space because people will tend to associate a woman in male-dominated space to be tomboyish or hard or... But that is not what I'm portraying. You can still wear your makeup and be under the hood. You can still wear your nails and do whatever it is you want to do. So that is the image I need to portray. That you can dress anyhow you want. You can be yourself. Yeah. You don't need to pretend. You're a woman.
It's true. Still be a woman. Yeah, and that doesn't mean you can't still, you know, break out the car.
Just because you're an engineer doesn't mean you should be all dirty and oily. You smell good. Soft hands, speak well.
That's true. So let's talk about your workshops.
Okay.
I want to get into the workshops, but before we get into the workshops, we're going to play another game.
Okay.
We're going to play another game. Now this game is called Run It.
Run It?
Run It. I'm going to tell you all about Run It. It's a really quick one. So it's simple. It's simply this. I'm going to say a topic.
Okay.
And then you will tell me how many things of that topic you can answer.
Okay.
So for example, I might say chocolate. And you might say, I can name one chocolate. I can say, I can name two.
Okay.
I can name three. And then we just go and go. And then if you don't believe the person can name the amount that they're saying they can name, you need to tell them to run it.
Run it.
And they've got 30 seconds to run as many of those things that they've mentioned they can name.
Okay.
So if I said I can name 9 chocolate bars.
Okay, so go ahead.
And you don't believe me, tell me to run it. And I've got 30 seconds to run it.
Okay.
You ready?
Okay.
Okay. I think you're going to beat me though. That's the thing. I think you're really going to beat me because some of these things I wrote it down and I don't even know. Okay, let's get into it.
Okay.
So let's play the first round of Run It. Run It. Car brands. Types of cars. Okay? So I believe I can name one car.
I can name 2 cars.
I can name 2 cars. I can name 3.
I can name 4.
I can name 5.
I can name 6.
I can name 7.
I can name 8.
Run It.
Aston Martin.
Okay.
Bentley. Rolls-Royce. Toyota. BMW. Audi. Volkswagen. Fiat. How many is that?
That's 8. You were just trying to show off just there. You was going to keep going. I saw you. I was like, You said Aston Martin. I said, why did I even stop? I should have kept going. I could have said 10. I could have said 10. Okay. Food types.
Types.
So it could be types of food, maybe specific cultures, anything.
Okay.
Food types. I can name one food type.
I can name 2.
I can name 3.
I can name 4.
I can name 5.
I can name 6.
I can name 7.
Run it.
Chips, potato chips. Is that food type? Jollof.
Okay.
Wachi. We're gonna keep it local. TZ.
Okay.
I said wachi already, right? Fufu. Benku. How many did I say I can do?
You said 7.
I said 7, right? Benku. Does chicken count? Is it? Chicken. Okay, next one. R&B artists.
Okay. R&B. Okay, I'm ready.
You ready? I can do. I'm even gonna say I can do 2.
I can do 4.
I can do 6.
Oh yeah? Run it.
Okay, R&B artist. Okay. You've even made it easy for me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm even wasting my seconds. Tyrese.
Okay.
Tank. I'm even gonna do the whole TG. Genuine. Joe.
Who is Tank?
Tank. We'll get into that afterwards.
Hey, Nana.
Don't worry. Fine.
Okay.
I'll even take Tank out.
Okay.
Even though he's a legit artist, I'll take him out. So Tyrese, Genuine. Joe.
Okay.
Monica.
Okay.
Whoa. Usher.
Okay. Timer.
The timer's definitely done. Everyone I'm thinking about, I just don't think that. I think they're more pop.
Ding. You go explain Taya.
Okay, so Beyonce's Tank. You know Tank.
That's 1. Number 2, you're gonna mention Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Now she's moved away from that genre.
That's why I feel like she screams like pop.
Yeah,
That's why I didn't want to say her.
You can't mention. So
Did I say Beyonce? Oh God, that's so bad.
For someone who had the questions.
No, I was like, you don't know Tank?
Who is Tank?
I don't want to sing for you people today.
Who is Tank?
Do you know TGT? You know Tyrese? Like he was in a group with Genuine.
Okay.
And then the other T was Tank. He's a big songwriter.
But what do you know about those? Nana, how old are you? How do you know this?
Let's not get into that today.
Those are ancestors. How do you know them?
I mean, when you think about old school.
Okay.
they're the ones. I could have said Donald Jones.
Okay.
I missed out on people. It's fine. Next one. Next one. Afro beats and high life artists.
Okay.
I'm going small. I can name 1.
I can name 3.
I can name 4.
I can name 5.
I can name 6. You can name 7. You can name 7.
Right.
No, because you can name 7.
Right.
Okay. King Promise. Does he count? Are we if we can start low? Like recent.
Okay.
King Promise, Kiddy, Kwame Eugene, Samini.
Okay.
Daddy Lumba.
Okay.
Coffee and Tea. What did I say? 6 or 7?
6.
Did I say I can name 6?
You can name 6.
That's 6 then.
But there's somebody called Samini.
Samini.
There's somebody called Samini.
Oh. It's Samini.
It's not Samini.
It's not Samini.
Samini.
What's his name?
Samini.
Samini.
Not Samini.
I said, is his name not Samini? Pronunciation.
Samini, we are sorry.
Sorry. But yes, I named it.
Oh, you did well.
Thank
you
you.
did well.
Now this
Impressive.
one, I'm not even going to go far.
What's this?
Car parts.
Oh,
I can name one.
I can name two.
Run it.
The bumper and the door.
Yay. Because I couldn't go further. I'm sorry. I can name. I need to come to your workshops.
You should. You know, I was surprised about the turnout. Things we learned, how to read your tie sizes and the specifications, the lights on the instrument cluster. You know how in Ghana we call every SUV, almost every SUV, V8. Once it's a big size or Land Cruiser, we call it V8.
Yeah.
But that's wrong. So the V is the shape or configuration of the engine, and the 8 stands for the number of chambers. So you can have a V6 or a V8 in a very small car like the E350 or the very small sedan.
Okay.
So the V8 is not a name of a vehicle or a type of a vehicle. It's just the engine size. These are little things that we learned during the workshops, and it came very handy.
So this was a beginner's workshop, right?
This is beginner's workshop using beginner's language, beginner's illustrations, beginners. For everyone to understand.
What made you start doing this? Or was it just it was always going to be part of the plan? Or, how did you get into workshops specifically? What made you be like, it's more than this now?
I realized that there's a big disconnect between what we learn in class and what goes on the field.
Okay.
So you have some mechanical students learning carburetor engines, when now, even in Ghana, we don't have carburetor engine vehicles. The world has moved past it. Or we learn something, let me even bring it to the normal world. We learn something, textbook, economics. I go to the field, realize that, I need some training at the bank to understand what was taught.
Yeah.
So that was the reason. Also, I wanted women to have an interest in what they drive. Like when you wake up in the morning, there are some basics that you want to check. Once you feel your car is too manly or it's too mechanical or it's too intimidating, you wouldn't even bother checking.
Yeah.
You'd just be driving the car until it stops. Oh, Kwame, oh, coffee, if I'm a car. But if you had just learnt about it or do it yourself, you don't have to rely on anybody. So that was it, just to make women understand it and to make them realize that, learn about your vehicles, it shouldn't be about, very easy. Yes.
So I think it's very important, and I'm very glad that there's a space like that and that you're advocating for it. It's amazing.
There is.
And wow.
There is.
Do you have plans to do more? Is there any coming up anytime soon? Because I know we just missed one.
Yes, you did. Plans to do more, yes. There's been calls for more. I'll tell you what, some people, I had a lady coming from Tamale to attend this workshop.
All the way from Tamale to Accra?
All the way. She booked the flights from Tamale to come to the workshop. I had a lactating mother. Her husband, he came with their 5-month-old baby just to attend this workshop. There's been calls to expand this. So, yes, we will take it to as many regions in Ghana, take it to as many institutions in Ghana. The plan is to do this, replicate this over and over, and to build up. So it could be beginners in mechanics, it could be beginners in how to maintain your paint and how to wash your vehicle the right way. However, we need sponsorship. It's tough getting sponsorship now in this part of the world, but once people get to understand how relevant this workshop or these programs are, I'm sure they'll jump on it. So yes, we require a lot of sponsorship. This was done free of charge. So you can imagine the overheads, the logistics.
Yeah.
We need help. If I'm going to keep on doing this for free, I definitely will need help.
Definitely. So how can people reach out to you? How can, if somebody's interested in the Shecanic brand, in helping with workshops, how can they reach out to you?
Oh, so I am on Instagram. I'm very engaging. I respond to my DMs very quickly.
Is it you?
Well, it's me.
It's you.
I try to add a personal touch to every message that comes through. So it's important I don't detach myself from the people,
The brand
and the brand and the people that want to reach out to me. So yes, I do it myself. So Shecanic_GH on Instagram, Shecanic on Facebook, and Shecanic GH all across. So Threads, LinkedIn, TikTok. I don't know how I'm able to sustain that. On TikTok, it's Shecanic GH.
Okay, you guys heard it here first. That's Shecanic GH on everything. And I want to say a big thank you that Shecanic came here today.
Thank you.
Because I've learned something new.
Oh.
I learned I only knew two car parts. But I also learned how important it was to know your car. You were saying things about like, oh, Kwame, come on. I was like, that's me.
That's you.
That's me. I don't even look at this petrol in the car. I just jump.
Oh
it's
my
so
God.
Poor. It's bad.
Oh my God.
I need to do better.
You need to do better.
I need to do better. I promise I'll do better. I promise.
Yes, that's good.
But as we are now in your 10th year, in the next 10 years, what can we expect?
Oh, there's a lot. You should expect Shecanic Auto Hub having the biggest workshop and most efficient workshop garage in West Africa. You should have ladies who go through my academy having mini shops, some of franchising, mini shops dotted all over Ghana to train these women. We should start having a national conversation on the need to transform the technical space. So putting the right people on boards. I'll tell you what, some of the teachers, some of the board members don't have cars. Some of the people that train or teach women how to drive, after they park the car, they go and take church home. So there needs to be, we need to fix certain things. So with the transformation, getting people to engage in this. And also, when a little child says, oh, for career day, I want to dress as a mechanic, that shouldn't be, oh, really? It should be normal. If a young lady says, hey, I want to be a mechanic, parents should see that's normal. You know, once upon a time, if you want to be a footballer, you are seen as kubolo. But now, thanks to Michael Essien and Sule Muntari, everybody wants the son to be a footballer. So we should have that in the auto space as well. That if you're a woman and you want to be an engineer, you could be allowed to do it. As a woman, why are you asked to be an air hostess instead of being a pilot? Why do you want to be a nurse instead of being a doctor? Don't allow gender to cripple you. So that's what I want to see. In the next 10 years, a lot of good conversation around this.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you.
I want to know if you have any final words at all. Any final words you want to say to anybody that's watching, anybody that wants to learn about the Shecanic brand, anything at all, anything you want to say?
I think we've said a lot so far.
Said a lot.
But what my final words would be, Nanz, please, it's not Samini.
Okay, give it to me again.
Nanz is not Samini, it's Samini.
Samini.
Yes.
Samini. Samini. It's fine, forgive me. I still love the music, I still vibe.
Yes, we do.
I still said the name, which means I know the vibe. But yeah, I want to say thank you. We can't let you go empty-handed. It's just a little small gesture to say thank you for coming through. Something you can take home. Silver bag from us at the debut. So this is for you.
Thank you. Christmas came early for me.
It came early, so you can take it home, you know, think about us whenever you see it. And you know, you can even reuse the bag, why not?
Yes, absolutely. It's beautiful. Beautiful.
I love it. I love it. But yes, this has been the debut show. We've had Shecanic on the debut show where we debuted you on our show. So I want to say a big, big thank you. I want to say a big, big thank you for you guys as well. For you guys always coming through and watching. We hope you guys enjoyed it. As she said, if you guys want to get involved, you want to get in contact and just learn more about the brand, learn more about how you guys can help to get involved. That is Shecanic GH on everything. It's going to be on the screen. So please follow it. Make sure you guys get in touch with her. And while you're doing that, make sure you also follow us on social media. And that's at the debut show on everything. It's on everything. You can find us. So yes. My name is Nanz Scripts. And this has been the debut show. So I want to say a big thank you and come back. Bye.
Hello everyone, my name is Anita Ekia Ikufu, and I want you to be part of the Wave the Flag trip. Yes, we're going to Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire on the 12th of January. It's going to be fun. We're supporting the Black Stars, we're cheering them to victory at the AFCON, and so we're going in a convoy of bikes and cars. It's going to be fun. If you saw the Wanderlust, then this is something you have to be part of because I'm coming.